Hello, my name is Michael Salazar, and this is my technology integration lesson plan. So, I will be teaching at Orosi High School, 12th grade English class. This is a 60-minute long lesson, and the topic of this is juvenile justice. So the purpose of this lesson is for reading rhetorically, preparing the students to read, and again, objectives are to integrated and designated ELD. Rhetorical concepts provide students with legal terms and vocabulary, and also the main focus is to introduce students to the topic of this module, which is whether juveniles should be sentenced as adults when they commit serious crimes. The Common Core standard that I chose was the English Language Arts Standard, which is 11th, 12th Reading Informational Text 7 and Writing 4. So this leads me to my first Pear Deck, which will just help the kids go sit down, pull out their laptops, and then open up peardeck.com, which will link /join, which will link them to my Pear Deck. And then, of course, here is above here the code that they will be using to get into my class or into my slides. So this leads me into activity 1A, learning vocabulary. This is to prepare them for the video that they will be watching shortly. It's to familiarize them with some of the key terms that they will be hearing through the movie. So I will set them up in breakout sessions, or if they're in class with me, pair them up together and then read some of these for a few minutes. This is a 50-minute exercise. And then on the second part of it, 1B, they will now have to finish these sentences here. What is homicide? What is murder? First degree. They will have to make up their own sentences. This allows them to think cognitively of what they read and if they understood by paraphrasing or restating what they read together. So this goes into my Pear Deck slide activity 2. Which again, we've already got step 1, step 2, but this goes into step 3 where they will link onto my Pear Deck, and then they will have to pick one sentence that they wrote together, and one of them will have to jot it on my slide so that I can see if they are tracking with me. This helps me to reassess them. If a lot of students are coming back and they don't understand the vocab or they're way off, then I can maybe give them a couple minutes. We can go as a class together over these vocab words. So here goes into activity 2, and this goes into the video. This is a 25-minute activity. It's broken up in half. So we watch the first half of the video, which will lead me into assessing them once again. But this is to basically watch the Lanote video, who committed the heinous crime, who was charged, sentenced, as an adult justice system, and committed another crime after release. Again, this just shows if the students are following along, which leads me to my Pear Deck slide here, where they will just write one sentence of their reaction to Tate and what happened. Again, I'm looking for key things there. Did something happen that Lionel Tate did? Who said what? And then they're just, I'm seeing if they're tracking with me. But here we take a quick break, a 1-minute break. This is probably my favorite slide. We just get the blood flowing again, wake up for the second part of the video. And this will lead me into my final assessment, which will kind of be a miniature version of their homework, a little bit of a graphic organizer, not guilty verdict versus the guilty verdict. Who was saying that Lionel Tate was guilty versus who was saying he wasn't. The defendant or the persecutor, who was what on which side. So this just kind of helps me again assess them, and this will go into their homework with their graphic organizer. Here is their directions of what they're to do. I've kind of gave them a few examples of sentences they can go to start off with, and then they will fill out this graphic organizer here. Again, this just allows me as a teacher to understand if they're understanding the different sides of the argument, if they can really pick that out. And then for the exit the class, this is my final assessment for myself, just in 1 minute, write the most important thing from today's lesson. This just allows me again to understand if I taught them correctly, if they understood what they were watching, and then if I need to go over anything the following day. That is it.